Hi, this is Barbie and welcome to my channel. Today's video is making card number 2 from my June Stamp of the Month kit. Every month, close to my heart, has a special stamp that's only available that month, which is the Stamp of the Month. For June, it's this beautiful Botanical Shadows that I have been using. You can get your Stamp of the Month one of three ways. You can buy it outright for $19.95. Or with a $50 qualifying order, you can purchase it for only $5. If you're one of my VIPs with your $50 qualifying order, you will get it for absolutely free. Each month, I design 3 to 4 cards for my Stamp of the Month kit, and then I send those out to everyone who purchases or gets for free the Stamp of the Month from my website. All you will need will be your card base. All other pieces will be included in your kit. So for this card, it'll be that piece of Sundance cardstock and a piece of white daisy. Now I've pulled in my all-purpose mat and a piece of scratch paper, and I'm going to start building my sunset with the honey butter ink. I'm bringing in a blending brush and make sure I tap off before going to my paper with it. The reason being is that when you first ink up your blending brush, you have a lot of ink on that brush, and if you don't tap it off, you're more likely to get a very dark mark. If you forget, no worries, you can work on blending that out. So I'm going to work my way up about halfway. Even though part of the bottom is covered by that Botanical Shadow stamp, some of it does show through. So go ahead and go halfway up, blending until you get the intensity that you desire with your honey butter. Now, if you don't have the colors that I'm using, please feel free to grab some yellows and oranges from your stash, play with it on some scratch paper until you get the colors that you like together. So right now I'm using the Sundance, and I'm going to go over that honey butter a little bit and then continue up my page just slightly. I don't need to go up a whole lot, maybe a half inch or so. Every one is going to be unique, just like the creation, the sunsets in God's creation. So make sure that you go ahead and tap off with that Sundance as it is a little bit darker, and then I go ahead and clean off my brush. Okay, because I'm going back to the the honey butter. Now I'm going to go over the Sundance with that honey butter just to help blend it out a little bit. And now we will go on to the next color, which is going to be Nectarine. So I'll bring in a different blending brush for the Nectarine since it's not close in color to the yellows. I'm going to overlap that Sundance just like we did before and continue up the page. Remember, do this as much or as little as you want till you get the intensity that looks good for you. I apologize for my head getting in the way. I thought I edited all of that out. Obviously, I didn't. So bear with me. Okay, once we've finished with the Nectarine, we'll be ready to go on to the blue section. I find making these sunsets very therapeutic, and I really enjoy doing it. For the blues, I'm pulling in Sapphire and Harbor. My Sapphire is one of our old style ink pads. The newer style are magnetic, and so you don't have a closure on them, and I really enjoy them. Now, because the blues are so dark, I'm going across the top and then bringing it down to the Nectarine. And I'm going to go over this a few times, but it won't take near as much as the lighter colors did. Once I've gone down to the Nectarine a little bit, I'm going to go back over it one more time. Remember, how many times you go over it is totally up to you. So now I'm going to go to the Harbor, which is even darker, and I just want a little bit, not much, just a little bit of that across the top edge. So I'm trying to stay right close to that edge of the paper. That's why I have the all-purpose mat. That way I'm not getting ink on my other surface. These all-purpose mats are awesome. You can just take them in and rinse them off in the sink. I've actually taken mine and cut it into 3 pieces. I cut it in half, and then I took one half and cut it in half. to make 2 smaller pieces. Now I'm going to go back to the sapphire and I'm going to overlap that harbor and come back down over the area where I already did the sapphire, just blending it slightly into the nectarine. Now I want to continue going backwards down the paper with the nectarine. So I work from the bottom up and then from the top down. So I'm going over the area that has the nectarine and overlapping that harbor just a little bit and overlapping the Sundance slightly as well. After this, I will go on to the next color, which is our Sundance. Now, if you wanted a lighter sunset, you could skip the Sundance and just go straight to the honey butter like I did in card number 1. This one I wanted to be just a little bit darker. So I'm going over the nectarine on that Sundance area from earlier, wipe off my brush because now I'm going to go back to that lighter color of the honey butter. Now with the honey butter, I'm not going to just go over the bottom where the honey butter is. I'm going to go over all of that bottom section. So I'm going over the honey butter, the Sundance, and the nectarine to blend those out just a tad bit more. So now we're ready to go ahead and get on to the stamping portion. I think the sunset's turning out rather cute, don't you? So I've brought in my stamp platform that I've already hooked the wheat field on. And I'm going to go ahead and ink it up and stamp it on that scratch paper. I'm going to bring in this little handy dandy tool so that I can pick up the ink pad without putting my fingers down near the ink and possibly get black on them and then onto my papers. I'm going to stamp it over, and this will help me know where to attach my paper. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention and I still positioned my paper where I shouldn't have. I should have raised it up a little bit more so that some of that black was showing below my paper. Because I don't, you'll end up seeing how I miss a small section. Now I hold it in place with the washi tape because I'm going to stamp a couple times and I don't want my paper moving. I'm also using my candle holder lid to get me a nice even pressure. See that 1/8 inch piece across the bottom? Now, if I didn't care about the size of this paper, I could just cut it off. But I need this paper to be the size I cut it, so I'm going to end up having to take care of that. But first, let's stamp one more time with the stamp pad, and then I take my pad and just rake it over the bottom edge of the paper to cover up that area I missed. Worked out rather well. So now we're done with this. Let's go ahead and take it off our platform, move it out of the way. Isn't the sunset turning out cute? I really love it. So now we're ready to stamp our greeting, and I'm going to use the Grateful for You, again with the black ink, and I'm going to stamp it down in that nectarine area. I would have liked to have it higher up, but it would have been too dark. So now we're going to go ahead and attach this to the card. You can see how that turned out. For some reason, I missed a little bit of my video. So now we can go ahead and attach it to the base of the card. And then we're all done. I think this card has turned out really cute. I really enjoyed making it, and I hope that you enjoyed it as well. I like to always attach at the top. And of course, I'll do my little hallmark on the bottom. I have one that says created by Barbi. I hope you enjoyed this video. And here will be some ways that you can keep track of what I'm doing. And if you like this video, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. And you have an awesome day.